much. Let me come to Mr. Osman.
Okay.
If Africa is to be united, that means we will be having a capital now.
Okay.
If we are to be united as a country with one president and one military,
Okay.
can you suggest a town for us if we are to be united as a country?
The entire continent becoming a single country. Which country should be the capital, in my opinion? Well, this will be based on several factors. I don't know the geography of Africa very well, but I would have preferred that a country that would be in the middle of all the countries in Africa. But as I mentioned, I don't know the geography very well. I've forgotten my secondary school geography. I should have been able to tell which country would have been at the center, so that such country would have been chosen as the capital of the United Africa country, so that at least when it comes to meetings and other things, the rest of them will not have to so it will be like they will almost have the same equal distance to travel to reach the capital for their activities. So in terms of proximity, that is how I would have looked at it. But when it comes to resources, that wouldn't matter so much, because at least in the process, those things would have been well developed. So, but I think to me, the major distance should have been the centrality of the one that will head the United Africa. Yeah, thank you.
I think proximity shouldn't be a problem. Right now, even in Ghana, our capital is not in the middle, in the center
of the country.
And for instance, there is a whole lot of development that is still going on. But if Africa were to unite today, maybe which of the countries will we choose? I think maybe that should be the question. Today, because tomorrow the dynamics can change. So even some countries change their capitals as time goes on. But for now, what I would like to see in a capital for Africa's unity would be one, peace. That country should be peaceful enough. That's what I thought. Two, it should also be it should have the needed facility infrastructure. And this is what actually any country would like to pick as its capital. This is what you would like to see in your capital. And for now, moving around, I think what's the name? Not South Africa, Zaire, or what's the name? Ethiopia is what you were just saying. Ethiopia came to mind, but I know recently, but I know what is the name? Magafuli is it Zaire? Magafuli, Zambia, yes, Magafuli. Currently, that's a place I think is well suited enough for Africa's capital. I have not been there.
Or is it Tanzania?
It's Tanzania, sorry. It's Tanzania. Very good. Thank you. It's Tanzania. The man was able, within a very short period, to turn the place around. And from what I hear, even in the night, in the middle of the night,
it goes around.
You can pick a needle.
Then that will be very interesting.
And it's very neat. And they are now very disciplined. All their structures are working perfectly. So personally, this is the kind of place, unless there is another place that is better,
Okay.
In terms of these things than Tanzania.
In terms of
then,
factors,
yes, I have just enumerated.
Okay.
Botswana would have come.
So personally, I would now pick Tanzania. Or maybe some place that may have better in terms of these things.
Okay.
And Tanzania.
That's wonderful. Mr. Kudus, can you come in here?
From what Mr. Inua said, in fact, his points have deluded what I was going to mention.
Okay.
When the question was thrown, my mind went straight to Ethiopia, because it is widely held that it is one of the countries which was never colonized by the whites. And as we speak now, I think it is the capital of the OAU.
Yeah.
So,
AU now.
AU, right? Okay. So that was the country I was having in mind. And when we also look at that country, it is somehow peaceful. Yes, just recently, something broke out there.
Yeah.
I think that is the Tigray issue, right?
Yeah.
I think that will be the only factor hindering it. But if we could look back to what they did.
But I think if we are united as a nation, all that you are talking about will not come in again, because from what I heard is the Tigray region are trying to separate themselves
from the country,
the Ethiopia and the Oromo region. So if we are united, I don't think they would like to stand on their own as a country again.
No.
It could be some factor that is influencing that decision.
Okay.
So if that factor wasn't there, we won't be hearing it. For the fact that it is there, it's also something that it's also a problem.
Okay.
And you know, some of these things is, if you don't have good leadership, all these issues can come up. I believe the kind of leader we were having in Tanzania, if you had it in Ethiopia, this Tigray issue wouldn't even come.
Okay.
And that is how we you see, you want to unite on a principle. You get it?
Okay.
So it should be like you pick an example, a good example, and make that place your capital. If you pick somewhere that can easily break the unity as your capital, then you are in trouble. That's why I mentioned peace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
It's true.
If your unity is pivoted on a very weak foundation, then you will not have it. So get a place that, as we said, until this issue came up. You know, when you were just posing the question, immediately Ethiopia came to mind. But I realized that as we are sitting, that's why I said if we were to unite today, tomorrow certain things can change in Ethiopia and even Tanzania. Even the Ghana, as we speak, certain things in the near future can change. That will make Ghana well suited for such a purpose. But today, as we sit today, it's places like Tanzania that I personally will vouch for as a
Rwanda.
And Rwanda is just coming out of something. Post-war syndrome and other things.
And there are still people who are just underground pushing.
Very good.
So I think Botswana is one of the peaceful countries in Africa.
And you know, they are noted for agri. I think it's in East Africa, right?
Botswana,
yes. In terms of agriculture,
No, it's not in East.
It's not
East.
Southern, somewhere.
One of our teachers traveled
I think it's like
time ago.
Southern.
And they are noted for agriculture also.
I just learned that it is one of the best economies in Africa.
I've not been there, but I heard
so
income.
It's also a place that we can look at.
So that means when it comes to the choosing of the capital of United Africa, a lot of factors have to be considered. Okay. I'm still on you, sir. So we have a lot of languages in Africa. So if we are to pick an official language, which will not be a foreign language, what language are you suggesting?
Is actually the difference in languages is one of the impediments for United Africa. In fact, if we are going to say we are going to pick one language to make it the official language, we are going to have a big problem. Personally, I don't know all the languages that is spoken.
From what I know, we have about 1,200 and above languages.
Ghana alone, how many languages do we have? You can imagine. That's one. But one thing I can vouch for is that we can create our language. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And that is something we can use. Everybody contributes to the creation of that language, and you won't have problem accepting it. But to say you want your language or somebody wants his or her language to be used as the official language, even Ghana currently, we're having a big problem concerning that. People are Ashantis, Akan, for instance, Chi in particular. People believe that it is widely spoken in Ghana, and think that it can easily be used as our official language if it comes to that. You understand that? Others are not happy about that. They are just not happy about that. There are places you go, you can't even speak Twi because they feel you are belittling their language. You understand that? So in order for us to unite properly and don't fight in the near future, because things, what is the name, Rwanda and Co. It was some of these things that brought up the issue. One particular tribe, Titus, and then Titus, and then Hutus. Some of these things. So in order for us to be well united and don't break in the near future, if we want to pick a language, let's create a language. And it's not a difficult thing to do. So Turkey have done it before.
Your opinion is very good. It's very good. Mr. Osman, do you think what Mr.
It is possible. Yes, possible. Because I'm looking at something. It looks like in Africa we have come out with a version of English that is almost commonly spoken in all the African countries. In a form of
very broad
pidgin or something that way, and it veers off the standard English. So I think with the creation of the language we could do that, so that it is harmonized throughout. The only problem I think there will be is the issue of francophone African countries, because they are not English speaking. So probably they also have their French pidgin that they use, which will be common among the francophone speaking countries. So this is where I think there will be a little problem. But there is another one I want to raise, which has to do with our forefathers, Nkrumahs and Co. they came up with the idea that Swahili should be used as an African language, and it was meant to be studied in schools.
Okay.
And spoken in African countries. But unfortunately, on our part of Africa, it didn't succeed. But if you move to the eastern and some parts of the southern parts of Africa, it looks like they still have it.
Okay.
And they speak that.
Some Swahili.
Yes, some Swahili, yes. I remember in 2014, I met a black distant in Denmark,
okay,
in a particular school. So the moment we saw each other as blacks, we approached.
Okay.
So he greeted in Swahili, thinking that because I am from Africa, I would have also understood or would have been able to speak Swahili. Okay. Unfortunately, I replied in English. So his English too wasn't that strong.